Hello everyone, welcome back to Schwab, the season/series finale?
One can only hope.
The coronavirus demon caught up to them. They were in the middle of filming the next episode when all this happened, so what I heard was the rest of the storyline for the season is going to be wrapped up at the beginning of season 3. Doesn't it make you wish they weren't dinking around so much? Because it doesn't really feel like much was accomplished this season.
No.
This was season 2, episode 19, Unsafe Space.
It was the return of Swan.
Yeah, that's the first thing I wrote, actually. Return of Swan! She's back, baby!
Most important character. She has one scene at the opening, and that's it. She never interacts with anyone.
She doesn't do anything. Why did that happen? Did they realize, like, they had her under contract for so many episodes, and she hadn't been used in a while, or what?
I don't know.
They realized they had no other characters in safe space to, like, be like, huh? What's going on here?
Jordan, but I guess he didn't exist this episode.
Shit, I forgot Jordan existed. He wasn't in this one. Weird. Well, they had to save money for Swan.
Yeah, the big budget for Swan. You think he would have had something to say about this? Because this is the complex where his gym's located. And they're renovating the shit out of it, putting up magic detectors and stuff.
Magic detectors.
CarMan's breaking his budget on the magic detectors. Like, what happens? Does magic, like, leave, like, a little smoke cloud?
They showed magic detectors in the show before. There was the magic detectors, I think, in the one where the little girl froze the town.
Cool.
I believe they found just a magic detector in a van or something.
Awesome.
So I guess they know how to use it with the faction, because that's what they're doing, seeking out magic.
Mm-hmm. What's a magic detector pick up then?
Magic pollen.
Magic pollen. Okay.
This is what my cat decides to do.
Yeah. We're recording, so it's treat time.
It's treat time. I give her treats every morning. And she runs over, like she's so excited to get them. And then she chews them for a second and then spits them out and then runs back to where I'm mixing up her normal food, which can't possibly be in the bowl as fast as she runs over and runs back. And then she leaves them all day. And now that we're recording, she's like, oh, let me just eat this and then let my collar jingle against the table while you're recording. You're not doing anything, are you?
Mm-hmm. No, she knows you're doing something.
She hasn't even eaten it. She put it in her mouth and spit it out again. Now she's just sitting there waiting for me to actually talk about the show, and then she's gonna nom. This isn't Charm Talk. I'm not interrupting anything important.
Yeah.
They're just talking about me. I'm not gonna do it now. Hey, someone brought up in the comment section for the last episode, we had like a week break in between, but it really made me laugh. So they had those flashbacks last episode where Macy and their mom, like, are just between a sheet, like, they can hold hands, but they can't look at each other. Yeah. And someone's like, why didn't their mom just call Macy? She could have been calling her this whole time.
Yeah, would have been a lot safer.
This is stupid. This is a stupid show.
Mm-hmm.
This is a dumb show. Stupid. I'm frustrated with it.
Yeah. This stupid leftover elder was annoying in this episode, too.
I kind of liked her in the other one, because she was kind of a crotchety old bitch, and she's still a crotchety old bitch in this one, but I don't know if it worked quite. The magic wasn't there.
The magic is gone.
The magic was gone.
Yeah, the one elder who doesn't count in the all elders must die thing.
Yeah, oh, she was acting like a major, like, all elders are dicks, right? Like, she had to be, like... She has to carry all the weight of all the other elders and be the biggest dick of them all.
Yeah.
And Charity murdered people, but somehow this lady seems worse.
Well, I mean, she did kind of rip a bunch of people in half to serve her.
That's true. She is kind of the most evil witch, evil elder we've encountered, huh?
Yeah. It's like, it's okay if we just imprison their dark half in a jar for eternity.
What if they put her in the same, like, golden jumpsuit they put Charity in that one time? She would look fabulous.
Yeah.
So, okay. Safe Space's security is being updated with the magic detector and all this stuff, which means the girls can't go there. They can't get to the bunker, so that's pretty bad news for them. Maggie and Mel are in their kitchen discussing this when they hear some noises from upstairs, so they rush in there. And it's Macy and Harry having very loud sex.
Yeah, this was shades of Smallville. Stupid Clark and Lana, and they have their earthquake sex.
Do people really... You know what? I guess it shouldn't surprise me. Do people have sex where they're, like, slamming each other into walls and shit? Like, it just it feels like... What are you gonna get out of that?
Don't kink shame me!
Maggie and Mel bust in just as Harry orbs out, but they see all the evidence left over. Not very subtle. So in the kitchen the next day... they think they're discussing this some more. It's just, they're like, let's go back to the kitchen, let's wait a day, and then continue the plot. So, they think that the faction's drilling under Safe Space to find that sacred bullshit tree.
Mm-hmm.
And Harry's like, well, we can break in there using Dark Harry for some reason. I missed why he thinks they need Dark Harry to do this, because he's part of the faction?
Yeah, he wants to use him to infiltrate them.
Why doesn't he just pose as him again?
Because I think he believes they need the actual knowledge Jimmy has about this stuff to do it properly.
You were pointing out, like, you were asking if Julian ever saw Harry. He had to have seen him when they were at the dam, and then they portal out, so he must know there's the good Harry and the bad Harry.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't they check for this, though? If they, like...
Yeah.
It's very confusing.
It should have been, like... I imagine while he's dating Macy, like, he had to have seen Harry at some point and just be like, hey, that's Jimmy, that's the guy, the magic guy.
Yeah.
So he should have known something was up sooner than the dam incident.
Yeah, that's true. If they know that there's a dark and a light Harry, then they would know what whitelighters are and darklighters are, and then they would know that he must be protecting a witch, so there would be witches there, which is likely Macy. And the charmed ones and stuff. Do they know about the charmed ones? Like, it's all of this.
CarMan really stalled on this one.
Stupid CarMan.
There's a carman waiting in his car. He'd like to come and meet us, but he's just a fucking car. There's a carman waiting in his car. He'd like to come and meet us, but he's just a fucking car. There's a car.
So yeah, they want to get Dark Harry, but he's still stuck in a bottle, baby. But they don't have a talisman to get him out of the bottle. So they call in Elder Celeste for help. Crotchety old bitch, Elder Celeste.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I got a skeleton key. But it's in that castle where I made all the whitelighters and the darklighters. So, gotta go to the castle.
So, it's been established, right, that Harry can't orb into magic bunker zone.
I feel like he couldn't do it because I guess there's magic protections on there, right? That's how part of the witchness protection.
But why?
I don't know. It's stupid. It's like whatever's convenient or inconvenient for the plot.
I don't understand why it's okay for Harry to walk to the magic wall and go in, but not orb.
I don't know.
Why the hell did you do that?
It's dumb. And plus with the magic detectors, they can't... I guess they can't just... Well, I don't know if orb... I guess they could orb in if they could portal in, but I guess he can't do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Celeste tells them, like, the you three make yourselves useful and go find us a way into the stupid bunker. You know, look up some witches who've been in witchness protection because they'll all have a magic marble, opens a portal, it goes back there.
Yeah, this is so dumb. There's... a bunch of retired witches that hang out on, this is what they say, a subreddit.
Yeah.
Posing as fans of a mid-aughts witch show. Not so subtle nod toward their own charmed Reddit, which I think has maybe 10 people on it. And they call it, in this universe, Dirty Little Witches, the fictional show that they've made up. And according to this subreddit, they're going to meet up at this club, because that's what people on Reddits do. They're like, we're going to have a club meetup locally. And for some reason, every time a witch goes into witchness protection, they get like a marble in case they want to come back.
It's the same thing they always get when they use the portal there, right?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like, they just have their own marbles, I guess, that are specific to whatever witches have them. For some reason.
Has this never come up that, like, whoever pressed the thing and got the marble, like, has anyone else used it before them? Because, like, this has been a really dangerous thing, apparently, hanging over their heads every time they had no idea about. Like, oh, yeah.
I think it's just whoever has the marble or created the marble or it was created for, whatever, is the one that has to use it or be there when it's used.
Well, I guess be there. I don't know. Like, I feel like we've seen someone make the marble and give it to someone else, but...
Yeah, it doesn't feel like something they planned for. It's just whatever.
It's really stupid. It just feels like a stalling tactic.
It is. It is. So they end up going to this club / bar / whatever. And they find Ruby there. Mel's girlfriend that they suddenly remember exists.
She wants nothing to do with magic, so she's at this meetup for witches.
I guess it's kind of like, retired witch support club. I don't know how you go onto this Reddit pretending that because they're posing as fans of this show. So is it like everything's code, and then like, what if someone who was just like a fan of that show showed up, and then everyone else is like witches? They're like, what?
But like, why, if you want nothing to do with magic, would you go to a group about it all the time? Wouldn't you want to be done with it?
Well, I think it's kind of similar to like, Alcoholics Anonymous or stuff like that. Like, it's a support group.
Magic's like an addiction.
Yeah, well, they did do something like that, didn't they? When they met up with some of the faction people, there was like a Magic's Anonymous group going on. So
like, oh no, the charmed ones just really need help then, I guess.
Yes. I think it's just one of those things like, people are in a similar situation and like, who else do you talk to about it? Not everyone knows what you're going through as like a witch who doesn't use magic anymore. Maybe your family's magical or stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. So you go to
I imagine that would be the appeal.
The drinking club meetup.
Yeah, I don't know about the drinking club meetup, and it didn't really seem like Ruby was hanging out with anyone. She was just drinking alone. As a bartender, she loves drinking alone at bars. Mm-hmm. She never gets enough of those bars.
Yeah, she needs to be alone at the bar because she has no privacy in her bedroom where people run in to watch the big game or whatever.
Yeah, it's the only place she gets any peace. The club. They're still watching that same game. It's still going, actually. It's so long.
Yeah.
She doesn't want anything to do with witches because, like, her mom brought home a demon and there was all this other stuff. She just, it wasn't the life for her. But she'll hand over her marble. So she's like, here, take the marble, whatever. But that leads to bad consequences.
They kind of act like, too, like, this is the end of them. It's what they're acting a bit like. They're acting a bit like this is a breakup at this point.
I don't know, though. Didn't they have a conversation before about, like, Mel wanted more of a relationship, like a steady one, and Ruby just wanted, like, a casual thing? Like, she wasn't really into,
Did she?
Like, girlfriends kind of thing?
I don't know. It feels like a season ago at this point.
I don't know. It's very... this episode, she doesn't act like that. She acts like she wants it to be kind of a thing, but...
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're giving me the it's not you, it's me routine? I invented it's not you, it's me.
So they're getting ready to portal over to the bunker. Maggie and Macy jump in there. But just before Mel's going to go in, it closes. And Macy and Maggie are trapped in the marble.
Yeah, Mel bonks her head on it, which is pretty funny. They jump through, and then Mel's like...
I guess it was lucky that it shut just before she went in, because what were they going to do if all three of them were in there?
They would have died.
This is so stupid.
I know, like, and this should be something made explicitly clear. Like, and these marbles would be actually a really good trap for them. They should just go to the machine and shoot a bunch of them out and then give them out to some of the bad guys so they use them and trap themselves.
Yeah. I guess I could see from like a protection standpoint, if someone stole it, then that could be a protection thing. But considering how specific Celeste is through this episode, that complicated ass spell, like she's like, you gotta get in the circle and then so-and-so will be a magnet, and then you gotta be standing on your left foot and then looking to the right, and then you gotta go fart in a circle, and then you pokey
and turn yourself about.
But you have to do it counterclockwise, or otherwise it's all gonna be fucked.
Otherwise, love's getting in the way.
Yeah, she can't drop a line like, hey, you need to get a marble, also you need the witch, otherwise you're gonna be in trouble here.
Yeah.
You could possibly suffocate to death inside a marble.
Yeah, she just left like a logic trap for them. It's like, no, I said get the witch with the marble. I didn't say to just get the marble. Oh, thank you. Thank you for your overly precise words that we're supposed to say, like, oh yeah, by the way, this is actually super important because you might be trapped and suffocate if you don't do it exactly this way.
For a witchness protection program, there's an awful lot of traps that could kill them.
Yeah.
In order to protect them.
Really fucking unsafe in that stupid bunker.
Unsafe space.
But it always was.
Well, what do you know? It's not every day you see the stupidest thing you've ever seen.
I like Madeleine Mantock's delivery when like they figure out that she's in the marble. Like, are we in the marble?
Yeah.
She's just annoyed.
When it zoomed out and showed them in the marble, the way the marbling looked, it just kind of made them look like they're in a cup of coffee first.
Being enjoyed by Swan in safe space.
Yeah.
Soy latte. So Celeste and Harry are on their own little adventure. They go over to the whitelighter, darklighter castle. It's completely wrecked. Harry's having some PTSD flashbacks to when he was split into two people, along with being there with Celeste. Like,
yeah,
right. This is cool, right? This is where I split you into two entities.
Yeah. Traumatizing, ain't it?
Oh my god, if Celeste like takes off her mask and it turns out that she was Phoebe Halliwell all along.
Or Piper.
Good. Yeah. This isn't about me or my children. My whitelighter, darklighter children. Everyone's my child now. Come suckle at my teats, children. I'll lactate poison.
Yeah. Shoots right through them.
Riddle me this, charmed ones. You need all these specific things or you're going to die. I'm helpful.
I've dealt with this before. I'm CarMan. The answer is change your oil.
He has a bunch of flaps come out of him and then rockets up in the air.
Get me supreme gas, not regular. Supreme.
He's got dents in his ass from people kicking him. Yeah, so this is a good time, as always, for Celeste and Harry to discuss his relationship with Macy. Everyone's got to talk about relationships and be boring.
Yeah, they had like a glance at each other before they left, so yeah, she's like, relationships? You can't have those. It's against the rules. He's kind of like, the elders are all dead. I don't care. Like,
yeah, he's like, shut the fuck up. What are you going to do? You're the only elder left.
Yeah,
shut up.
We had a lot of shitty rules, but this was a good one.
She was retired. She was a retired elder.
Yeah.
And she's still like, I'm going to enforce the rules. Relationships between whitelighters and witches are forbidden. Meanwhile, there was a bunch of whitelighters and witches just fucking all over the place because there's no other elders. They're like, whatever. Just do whatever we want.
You know how many elder rules she's been following?
Wait, all the whitelighters are dead though, right? They died with the elders?
Yeah, they're all dead.
Right, okay, I forgot. Anyway, they would be though. If the elders weren't around to enforce it.
Well, she's been following 0 elder rules for all these years, and she also let them all die while she is off on her island drinking or whatever she does.
Yeah,
Like,
once she gets into an elder mojito, gets back in on the game, she's drunk with power. She gets 1 second and she's just like, relationships, I decide what you do.
just feel like you have no fucking place to tell us to do anything, Miss Vacation.
This never made sense in the original series either, the whole forbidden relationship, because I guess part of it was just like bigotry in the original one. It was just like, it will create an abomination. All this other stuff. But this here, it seems to be kind of what they did with the Leo Piper storyline. They're like, you're too distracted to do anything good if you're in a relationship because you can't multitask. So we're not going to let you have a relationship and save the world.
Yeah. You need to be woefully unhappy while you do this, okay?
Yeah. She ties this in. This is such a stretch. She's just like, hey, you know that fairy tale about that conqueror?
About that,
you know, the conqueror
CarMan?
Yeah.
The legend of the CarMan?
The Carnqueror.
The Carnqueror.
The Conquer Car.
I think CarMan might be the Conquer Car.
There's some legend. Harry seems to think it's just a legend. I don't know if it's verified as true or anything. Celeste seems to think it's true. There was this conqueror who he wanted to take all of the magic in the world for himself, but the very first charmed ones defeated him. And she thinks that Julian is the second coming of the conqueror. Did she pull this out of her butt? Like, where did this come from?
Yeah, it's one of those, like, how does this equal this thing? Because she's like, yeah, I think Julian's the conqueror, therefore you shouldn't have a relationship.
What if he's just like, what if
that
there was some
tracks.
other second coming? What if the real second coming of the conqueror is like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what? That guy has nothing to do with me. He's just some random guy who's like likes to dress up like a car sometimes.
Yeah.
Why'd you think that had to do with me? You guys are idiots. And Abigail comes in like, I'm the conqueror, and whatever.
Wouldn't it be more likely that it was from the Witch Hunter Jordan's line? Couldn't he be the conqueror?
I bet this is all some misdirect, and it probably is Abigail or some fucking shit. It's probably not even that. But to just say, like, this is this, and then take it as fact when there's nothing backing it up. It's not like they're like, the legend says during this year the conqueror will return, or, you know, something to be like, this led me to believe this.
Yeah.
They just say
She
it.
just goes, there's some legend about conqueror. I think he might be the second coming. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you could say like, you remember that old legend about Goldilocks and the three bears? Yeah, I think that Julian is one of the three bears. He's the middle bear. And when the Papa Bear comes home, shit's going down.
Oh boy.
Oh, you're right. That means I can't have a relationship because my porridge was too hot.
It all makes sense. Just like marbles that will kill you if the wrong person uses them.
Stupid. Oh, they find that skeleton key and they peace out. They find Mel looking at her sisters in a what is it?
Marble?
Not a telescope. What is it?
A microscope.
Microscope. I knew it was a scope of some sort. She's looking at them through a microscope. And Celeste is like, you dummy dumb. You needed a witch. You needed the witch with it. Yeah, now they're trapped. They're going to die. Go get her.
This was obvious from the words I said.
Elder, what good are the elders?
Do you want to
nothing.
Stop drinking for a second, Celeste, and try and make sense?
As an elder, I think I know what's best for everyone. No relationship. Listen to the exact words I say, or you'll die in a marble.
They say, too, that...
Can you imagine if the Charmed Ones died in a marble, and then Harry'd be like, yeah, I guess it's good that we weren't distracted with our fucking relationship, otherwise they would have fucking lived!
Yeah.
You dumb fuck!
Yeah.
Get the fuck in this bottle! And they trap her in a bottle, and we see how you like it, you idiot!
She was the closest one to killing them in this episode with the marble bullshit.
Over just her incompetence. What is she has no right to talk about anything.
And honestly, from their wording at one point, they say there's no oxygen in the marble. If that was the case, then they would have just gone in there and asphyxiated and died pretty quickly. They wouldn't have had time to breathe for a while.
Yeah, whatever air is in their lungs is not going to be enough to keep them alive that long.
Yeah.
Once they get in there. And it doesn't make sense. Why is the marble hollow anyway? Have you ever seen a hollow marble?
Yeah, there might be a little air bubble in one, but not much.
Yeah. It was just enough. It's lucky that Mel didn't go in there, and it just closed. It's also lucky that Ruby is still hanging out at the bar, but everyone else cleared out because the Charmed Ones made an appeance.
Yeah, you
they
guys
stunk up the room.
Party. Okay.
You ruined the dirty little witches party. Stunk everything up. Nobody likes the Charmed Ones.
And the day was saved.
The Halliwell sisters showed up, and they're like, "Oh fuck! Everyone dies when they're around."
Yeah, we have a great record. It's I don't want to say.
But Ruby does help them out. Portals in, and then that gets everyone out. So everyone portals into the bunker.
Don't the other two just kind of drop from the ceiling, kind of?
Yeah, they just kind of...
they portal in, and it's like, dunk, dunk.
Yeah. And they die of head injuries.
Witness protection, what did I tell you? Works never. We had so many witches die from all our BS and witness protection.
You know, people talk about all the bad things we did. They don't talk about our great pranks.
There's the pile of marbles with dead witches in them. They should have listened to my exact words.
I like this voice you've come up with. Well, Celeste is like, yeah, reunion, whatever. Let's get this dark lighter out. Enough with the hugs and the kisses.
If you thought it was just going to be a stick the key in here and we pop the dark lighter out, you got another thing coming. We have to do the Macarena. We have to do this special dance and have 10 shots of my special juice.
And the gummy berry juice. And then you bounce here and there and everywhere. I love that they have Celeste leading things while our heroes bumble through this season.
Yeah.
They're doing like nothing. Just like, do this.
She tells them what to do, like almost if they had the Book of Shadows there to tell them what to do, but instead they need her there.
Yeah, that was a real great decision, destroying the Book of Shadows, this stupid show. I'm glad that we have this.
Even if you don't want the Book of Shadows, they still have a bunch of instructional sheets and stuff.
It just became the Elder Book. I mean, they just replaced it with a different book. This is nothing.
It's a different book. They have a bunch of books in the bunker, but I mean, that's all she's really doing here is they could have read this.
Yeah, basically.
We've tried nothing and we're all out of ideas.
So basically the rules of this thing are, they have this magic circle. They're going to use this, hokey pokey spell, whatever. And Jimmy is going to be magnified to Harry, so he's got to stay in the circle. Don't leave. As soon as they cast the spell, nothing has happened yet. It's comically quick. They cast the spell, and then Celeste is like, "Damn it, get down!
Yeah.
An explosion. It's like, wait, they didn't do anything yet.
Yeah.
to make it go wrong. You fucking idiot.
Yeah, she just didn't know what the hell she was doing again, drank too much. But Harry
Immediately, a comical explosion.
Harry also asks her, like, what happens if I stray from the circle? She goes, nothing good. It's like, want to be specific?
What does happen? Nothing really of consequence. This all feels like time filler to like stretch things out is what it feels like.
Yeah, it's another thing that's like, why isn't Celeste clear? Like, you know, you'll die, so don't leave the circle.
Yeah,
like,
all she has to say is like, okay, but if you leave the circle, he's not trapped in there and he's dangerous. That's really all you have to say, because that's really the only consequence of that. What they're trying to get him in the circle, so he's trapped there.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
But apparently, like, Celeste, like, they do exactly her instructions. No one does anything different. And then as soon as they cast a spell, Celeste's like, oh shit, Isaac. Yeah. And she goes like, oh, I've wasted my knife.
Charmed will not be coming back.
Yeah, so this nearly kills them. Again, Celeste nearly killing them, blows them all away, and Harry goes to help Macy and leaves the circle immediately. Dark Harry shows up, and he goes like, miss me? Punches out good Harry, and gets ready to use the portal to leave. But Ruby uses a fart wind to keep him back.
Yeah.
Until Harry can put a magic inhibiting bracelet on him.
I thought Jimmy wanted to work with Harry anyway. That was the last interaction we saw with him. So why was he trying to escape immediately?
Yeah, I guess that implies that he was just lying, but I thought he was on their side. They didn't trap him in that bottle. That was Vivian's.
Yeah.
You would think that would be more motivation for him to be like, all right, let's get this bitch.
You
know?
would think that would make more sense. I don't understand why any of this was happening. They set things up and then it's like, anyway, that was a few episodes ago though.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if Ruby uses her fart wind and then Macy flies out a window just like their mom? And her mom flies out the window too, like, damn it, I was back!
Oh, that'd be amazing. Marisol showed up and just flew out a window.
Hey guys! Yeah, I guess this is one of the few times we've seen another witch use powers to help them out.
Yeah.
We forgot about that little girl that could freeze towns, but okay, so now we have Ruby who doesn't want to use her magic, but
this was more what I was thinking though, like an actually trained witch. But I mean, she's still a witch who doesn't even want to be doing this. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a pretty helpful power. I thought that was pretty cool. I think Ruby is more interesting than some of our main characters. She's more interesting than Abigail, certainly.
That's where they're gonna go, Abigail and Mel.
Oh, let's not.
Mabigail.
Yeah, hopefully next season, if there is a next season, they will nix that plot immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So before we get into the rest of that, there is this whole subplot going on with Julian and Aunt Vivian through the episode. CarMan and Aunt Vivian.
They suddenly throw us into a flashback, which was not clear first.
Oh yeah, they had a couple flashbacks. One of them was all sepia-toned like you would expect, and the other one wasn't. So it was like, what? Oh, it's a flashback.
Yeah.
Why didn't you, like, tone this or add, like, a little filter around it or something? Little, like, title in front of it to say, like, 3 years ago or whenever that was.
Yeah.
CarMan is watching footage on his phone of Maggie, Mel, and Harry portaling out of the dam. This looks like it was just filmed on his phone. Did he take that out as they were portaling out? Like, how did he get this on his phone?
Apparently, that's what he's doing.
Like, he was just like, 1 second.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't look like it's security footage, and if it is, why was it on his phone?
Oh.
Maybe it's like, do they do that with those, like, doorbell cams? You can get, like, footage straight to your phone if there's, like, a ding on it?
Yeah.
Maybe it's like that. Like, he's got, like, the ring thing, but in the dam, and then it's sending him info whenever that happens.
Yeah.
Magic detected. Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah.
Magic ring.
Yeah. You think those magic detectors, like, they have to change the battery so they start beeping and annoying them?
Oh, I don't have time for this. Beep, beep, beep.
Oh, it's scaring the cat.
Oh, poor kitty. So he's all sad about this because of finding out that Macy's a witch, which, again, if he knew about Dark Harry, I'm not sure how he didn't know she was associated with this at all. Aunt Vivian is there to comfort him. Julian wants to talk to Jimmy, but Vivian explains that his magic jar was stolen, and some rando helper guy comes in to say that they've hit a stumbling block with the digging going on under the building. So they go there to investigate. Every time they try to drill into the wall, it keeps magically repairing itself. So Vivian's like, you know, what magic person we know that could be pretty helpful, that girlfriend of yours. Let's go see that girlfriend of yours.
Oh, I was thinking Swan.
Oh, right. Like, it's like, you know, who... Swan, Macy... I mean, Macy is what I is what I meant.
Macy, we're on the same page on Viv.
Yeah.
I knew where you were going with that.
And then... And then his butler Alfred comes in and he goes like, I witnessed Macy using powers that fateful day. If you knew this whole time, why didn't you say anything?
Oh, just a second. I'm stuck in second gear.
Oh, damn it. I've rusted.
We need some more of that magic oil from the tree in the Charmed One's magic bunker.
Yeah, that's what the black amber is. It's just oil. It's magic oil.
And it forms Noob Sabat.
Oh, no. Hey, I learned my lesson.
Yeah, just blow him up. Learn all your lessons.
And then Celeste goes, oh, shit!
Give me a drink of that black amber.
she uses the skeleton key and then walks away all cool from the explosion. Slow-mo.
Something smashes her in the back of the head.
Well, she was an idiot. So CarMan's a little conflicted here, because he still has feelings for Macy. He thinks that maybe they're going a little far with all this stuff, and yet Vivian's like, well, she was the one that was using you. She's magic. All this magic stuff's bullshit. And he's like, I don't know, I still believe in her. And she's like, oh yeah? Well, what about this? Shows him this tablet, and he's like, oh, she's awake? And they're pretending like we don't know that it's his sister. That's super obvious.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be her.
CarMan origins retold. Oh yeah. His sister is in coma cause bad whitelighter no help.
I feel like this story with him and his sister and like being resentful of magic and all this stuff, it's not really a bad idea. It's just the way that they go about things, it's so ho-hum, like you just don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this could be an interesting idea, but they spend so much time dinking around, it's like, by the time you get to it, what's the payoff? Nothing.
Yeah. Julian, I don't know, he feels wishy-washy.
I want to like this character. Because there's like a good story there to be like, you know, he's conflicted, because you can understand why you would be resentful in that kind of situation, or why you think you're even helping people. Mm-hmm. That makes for a really good villain story. You don't want them to just be mwah-ha-hars, but...
I feel like it's also hurt a bit because the whitelighter institution is basically dead at this point. So like his main, point of conflict is gone for the most part, except Harry.
Yeah, that's true. There could almost be a twist there, like he thinks like he's seeking whitelighters, and then he's like, you gotta help my sister, she's in this coma, and you can help her, and then he finds out there's only one left, and that kind of the tragedy of that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, that could work.
We get another flashback to young Julian in the hospital just after the accident. He's talking to young Aunt Vivian about the magic man that didn't help his family. Why didn't they help the family? That explains why they want to find this black amber, because it'll help his sister, and they want to push magical science further than it's ever gone. It'll help people in the medical fields. Do something.
This whitelighter was quite a dick, though, because he does orb right in front of this girl bleeding out in front of him, and then he's like, and turns around and heals the witches and pops out.
Yeah, witches only in it for themselves, huh?
Yeah.
Ugh, they have yet
but,
to.
But, if they save innocence, they might not be able to save innocence later, so better not.
There's no reason not to. It's not like, like there's some magical price to pay for doing this or something. Like, it's just stupid.
Yeah, just being a dick.
So yeah, they have a second flashback, which you were pointing out, like, is not clear. So I thought this was part of what was going on in the present day. And Julian and Vivian are going to see Dr. Tanaka, who's an archaeologist, and he shows them this dark lighter jar. And he's like, I found this magical thing, and, I can open it, and there's this talisman to do this. And Julian's like, well, this could be proof that magic really exists. And we're like, what? How would they need more proof?
Yeah.
They've seen lots of magic.
Took a second. I was like, oh, this must be another flashback. This is going to be like their introduction to Dark Lighter, Harry, or Jimmy.
Yeah, this is their introduction. This explains who took the jar, who let him out, who is his master, all this stuff.
Yeah.
When he shows up, he's naked but covered in like ass smoke.
Yeah, he's got modest Diaz smoke. I think this happened once before, but this time it lingers on it longer in a further shot, so you just see his ass smoke hanging out there.
Yeah, he looks like like Disney Aladdin genie or something, just constant smoke around his private areas.
Just like, why is the smoke lingering there so long?
Yeah, before you could say like, oh, it hasn't dispersed yet and it just happens to be more condensed around the ass area. But this time he's like moving around and he's sitting there, it's just hovering, like it's just constantly there.
Yeah. Then Dr. Tanaka's like, I'm your master. And then Aunt Viv shoves him out of the way. I'm your master now. He's like, what?
And then Jazzy Jeff is like, I'm the master. And they're like, no. Toss him out the door. I love too, when that scene begins, again, we don't know that this is a flashback. The very first line that comes out of Vivian's mouth is, this is getting old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that, Aunt Viv. Yeah. Cut to present day. This is when they first discovered magic. So present day, Julian doesn't have a lot of hope. He wishes he could be as full of hope as the day he saw Jimmy's ass smoke.
I should have bottled that ass smoke. I didn't know what I had till it was gone. And then the magic detector wouldn't shut up after we did that.
He's addicted to ass smoke. He's sitting there like
huffing.
Yeah, it's all around him, and he's like, "Yeah, man, smoke the ass smoke, mellows me out, man."
I got injured once being CarMan, and I got addicted to ass smoke. It's the only thing that gets me through these nights.
What is the pot oil, CDC oil, or CTC, or what is it called?
CTC, I think.
CTC? I'm gonna look it up. I don't want to sound like an idiot. I think it's CBD oil?
CBD, yeah. That's it.
Yeah. CBS, ABC, NBC.
It's getting all mixed up in my head. It's like, oh, what is it?
Not enough people talk about the medical benefits to CBD ass smoke oil. That's what the black amber is, man. It's the CBD ass smoke oil. I wish I could call this episode something with ass smoke in the title, but I can't. Butt smoke? Can I do butt smoke? Would they censor that?
Butt smoke should be okay. It's
butt
YouTube
smoke addiction.
Safe butt smoke.
That butt is smoking. That's the
literally.
Hip references. That's a fart noise from his butt smoke.
Oh.
Joke completed.
He was farting the whole time.
Being evil makes you gassy. Yeah, so they go to see Julian's sister Rosemary. Vivian has been applying what they learned raising the dead in raising the brain dead. That's what this has all been about.
She's also been applying her makeup while she's been in a coma.
She looks perfect. She's got perfect makeup, no atrophy. Her muscles look just fine. She has been in a coma for 30 years, brain dead for 30 years.
Yes.
30 years. Perfect makeup, doesn't look pale, not atrophied, her hair perfectly silky and smooth, cut.
Yeah.
No eye bags, nothing. Looking pretty darn good. And then when she wakes up briefly when they give her the black amber, she looks fine. Like she's just like, hey, what up? This is cool.
Yeah. Oh, did I just go to bed for a bit? What's up, guys?
Little sleeping beauty.
Yeah.
But they can't fully revive her without more black amber. They gotta get to that black amber.
Can't get enough of that black amber. Never get enough.
Back in black! Gotta get the amber out of the crack!
We know these are trying times, so please try a little black amber.
This is the most important black amber that McDonald's has ever served.
You're probably not thinking of the charmed ones right now, but they're thinking of you. They're gonna give black amber to anyone who needs it. Staying
Since
together.
2018, the charmed ones have not been protecting innocence. We vow to continue our journey of not helping people.
We're in this together. The three of us, not with the rest of you.
Go to charmedones.org and fuck yourself. All right, let's go to the obligatory 3 separate wrap-up scenes. Macy's hanging out on her bed in a robe, and they frame this so creepy. Harry is standing in the doorway, just kind of like hovering there, out of sight. He comes in, they make out for a bit, and Harry's like, man, I left the circle. I nearly got us all killed. That sucked. Maybe Celeste is right.
Macy's like, oh yeah, the crazy drunk woman. Yeah, she was really right there, Harry. Yeah, you got that one.
Hey, listen to me! Get me another mimosa!
I might have retired for like 500 years or something, but I think I have the right to tell you how to live your life.
Ruby, I'm the only one who's allowed to retire, not you. Give me a screwdriver, stat! You're gonna be my personal bartender, so says Queen Celeste.
Well, I popped out for a few hundred years, all the other elders died. That's a big whoopsie doodles.
This is big Piper energy coming from her.
Yeah.
Big Piper energy.
Yeah, I don't want to do anything, and when I do, I'm gonna tell everyone else how to run everything.
This, of course, leads to Harry texting Maggie and asking her to change his feelings with her new powers. I guess so he won't feel for Macy anymore. This is stupid.
Yeah, this is really dumb.
Was this the first time they demonstrated this episode her able to change someone else's feelings? When she and Macy are stuck in the marble, she like holds her and then calms her down.
Yeah, I think. I don't recall this one happening before, but maybe it did.
They did have the anger bolts. Maybe that's the same sort of thing. Like just this time it was calming.
Maybe.
I guess. This seems like it could be wielded very irresponsibly.
Absolutely. If you can change someone's feelings about someone, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yep.
Maggie's gonna use this horribly irresponsibly soon. She's gonna make someone fall in love with her just because she wants them to. And she's like, ugh.
Oh, okay. Go full love spell route.
Yeah. But what else would she use it for?
Good? Helping people? I don't think so.
She's gonna use it selfishly. Like Jordan
that's
will
what
be
Phoebe
like,
would do.
Yeah, Jordan will
Like
probably
Phoebe
say,
before her.
actually, Maggie, I don't think I can do this to my girlfriend. I don't think I should ever see you again. Yeah, all right, I'll break it up with her.
Yeah, she crosses her arms and does the I Dream of Jeannie. Bing!
Yeah. She is hitting the road, Mags.
And then he's like, witches are evil, and that's how he becomes the new Witchfinder General.
Yeah.
It all comes together.
Yeah.
We also have a scene of Mel and Ruby talking. Mel is thanking her for saving them. And she's like, yeah, that spellcasting's pretty hot. Mel is being pretty dumb here. So, like, Ruby is like, I was happy to save you, but I still don't want to be a witch. And Mel's like, but you got all this power. Like, oh, you'll get used to it. No, it's fine. You can be a witch. No, you'll come around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever tried not being not magical?
Have you tried not being a mutant?
And she's like, well, I mean, I still want to be with you. I just don't want to be part of your witch life. It's like, well, but that's kind of a big part of my life, so it's kind of a problem here.
Yeah.
Ruby does give her a good talking to. Like, she's like, you can't control how I feel in this situation.
Yeah.
Like, this is how I feel. You can't make me feel differently.
Yeah, it's kind of silly. Oh, yeah, you guys get over it.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Do you think by next season, like, Ruby will ever show up again?
I'd be surprised.
I don't think she's showing up again. I think that's just them breaking up.
It seemed like it.
Because this could be an interesting story. Them trying to, like,
they'll
make it
bring
work.
Jada back.
Oh my god, please don't. That's alright. We're good. The big cliffhanger here. Hope you guys are ready for this. Julian deletes Macy's picture from his phone.
He deletes the promo picture he had of Madeleine Mantock.
Yeah. I don't want this. I'm not watching Charmed anymore. Delete. Really emotional moment there.
Yeah. It's like it's not a picture clearly that he took of her. It's just like she's not looking at the camera. She's smiling at a table across at someone else.
Lighting and yeah. All airbrushed.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it for the episode. Real quick, I want to get one last fashion segment into this season. Whoa, we did have some outfits I liked in this. Maggie's got another one of her leopard print shirts on, which I liked pretty well. Mel had a gray velvet jacket, and Macy had this amazing super long ponytail braid with like beads in it or gold things in it. I'm liking what they're doing with Macy's hair lately. They're doing a lot of different things. I think it's fun.
Did you like stupid Mel and Maggie breaking into Macy's room at the beginning? We didn't mention that.
Well, we did mention that, yeah.
Did we mention the
they busted
invasion
in
of
just
privacy, though?
They busted in just before Harry orbs out. Well, they did think that she was being hurt because there were a bunch of bangs and stuff. They probably thought a demon or something was attacking.
I don't understand why she didn't just say, hey, I'm in here, I'm busy. Or something.
I guess they didn't want to admit that they were doing it. Like, they're like teenagers and the parents are coming in. This is like, remember in the original Charmed series where like, Paige just wanted to keep going off having sex, and the other two kept thinking that was their business. So like, she's like, I want to live on my own so I can have sex, and they're like, just go, Leo, you can go watch. She's having sex. Whoa, it was crazy in there, guys. They were having so much sex. Like, can you guys stop invading my privacy? We need to know everything. Who are you having sex with and why?
Yeah. Very strong energy of that from them.
What did you think of this episode, Phelan? That good, huh?
Bunch of ass smoke is what this episode was.
They didn't blow any smoke up our ass.
Not very impressed. Don't like that everyone thinks Celeste is someone worth listening to when she comes off as a crazy old drunk who decides she's not gonna lay like little word traps for them to get them stuck in marbles.
One Celeste tells the truth and one always lies.
Just the fact stupid Harry listens to this too, like, oh man, I almost stepped out of the circle after Celeste blew it again, literally, when she blew us all away with her hot air. Can't believe I cared about you. That was the whole problem, caring about you. I'm gonna get Maggie to make me not care. We're gonna get edgy. Harry's gonna wear a backwards baseball cap. I just don't care anymore. He's gonna
sits on chairs backwards. Yeah.
Whoa.
I'm darker, Harry.
I'm darker than my dark lighter now, because I don't care.
It's like that little boy in Time of the Apes on Mystery Science Theater. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, this is just, it felt like dragging the feet. The whole marble thing is asinine. And it's like, okay, you want to do a big reveal of Julian, I don't know, it also felt like dragging around with him too. I feel like once we gotten into this, we should have just established the sister thing almost immediately and then gotten into a story with him in regards to him trying to discover the bunker or get this tar, the black amber stuff. Like,
why's everybody got a secret sister? Why is there so many secret sisters in this show?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, they got like the charity sister thing, and then they got like the obviously Macy was a secret sister, and then you got Parker's secret sister, and then you got Julian's secret sister.
Yep. Can't wait for Celeste's secret sister.
Yeah, you don't need to pull another secret sister out of your ass, Joe. I think we're good on secret sisters. We got the 4 secret sisters of the apocalypse at this point. Yeah, I don't think... You can't really judge this episode as a season finale because it wasn't supposed to be. Mm-hmm. But I do think that this demonstrates how they've been dragging their feet this whole season doing nothing. That if they were going to cram it into the last 3 episodes or however many were left... It just shows that nothing really happened this season. Not much, anyway. There was occasionally an episode we liked, but nothing like... I would never want to rewatch any of this. Yeah. It's boring as shit.
I feel like we only had 1 episode where we really saw Macy and Julian feeling much like a couple. That one where they go to, like, one of his summer houses or wherever that was.
Oh, yeah. And then they immediately bang. And,
yeah.
And she's walking around her robe. And then Vivian says that she's like a stiletto in a room of flats.
Yeah. But it's like, after that, like, I don't really think we saw anything making them feel like a strong couple. Like, she felt very flaky pretty much almost immediately about this relationship. So, like, it didn't feel like that much of a reveal when Julian was like, oh, I'm part of this order trying to capture magic beings and stuff.
It feels like makes it easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, I'm not that attached to Julian. And I do think, like, you know, having another, like, billionaire boyfriend, sugar daddy or whatever is not really the best option to go. But I would like them to have normal people in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's so many people that it's like, you know, they have some magical connection or they have some other, like, deep, dark secret into, like, they're intertwined with the magic underworld or all this other stuff. And, like, you know, even, like, Galvin had, like, secret, you know, origins with voodoo and all this other stuff. Jordan has the witch finder thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only one really that... Swan, yes. I think the only person attached to them that has not had any sort of intermingling with this stuff, like, outside of them, was Nico.
Mm.
So, like, I don't know, like, I just feel like sometimes it's intriguing in shows like this to have just the normal characters. How do they deal with all this? They don't have any powers to protect themselves. Like, in some ways, they're braver and more interesting than the ones that have, like, the superpowers, because they're the ones, like, holding people up.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that are like, you know, they have to deal with their own lives without all of this. So, I don't know.
That's why Lucy needs to come back.
Lucy! Ruby was, like, kind of normal, and then now she's a witch.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, they did nothing with her before the witch reveal.
they had Kat, but then she had like the magic shop, and then like she has like the magical here's ghosts or whatever it is. Yeah.
She had to go now. Her planet needed her.
Her planet needed her. That was weird that they just wrote her out. But yeah, they don't commit to a lot of these stories either. And the Julian thing, I agree, like they didn't seem like much of a couple before she flaked out. And it was sort of just a way to make the Harry Macy thing more dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that did a disservice to Julian's arc.
Yeah. It's like, if you want to go there, actually go there, right?
Yeah. Because it's so much more interesting. I don't buy that there's like a relationship there, that he's so torn about Macy when you really should feel that way. I don't know if we need another like boyfriend of one of them turns out evil, because we've already done that with Parker, but
at least not evil, I guess. Like you're saying,
Parker was also like torn between worlds, right, much like Julian.
Yeah, but I mean, he is he could be a more interesting villain, I should say, since, like you're saying, he has some noble reasons for the things he's doing.
Yeah. But, I mean, as it is, we haven't even seen that much, because just last episode is when we get, like, the big, like, he shows up at the end and know everything that's going down and all that, and, like, we haven't really gotten much of it because so much of the season has been dedicated to nothing.
Yeah.
It's just filler the season.
Yeah, aimless. Just like the beginning of the season wasn't the same thing it became, partway through, and then it became the Abigail show for a bit, and holy crap.
It feels like they have contempt for the audience and contempt for themselves. Like, I don't feel like the people running the show care about the show. I feel like it's just a job. I think the actresses are behind it and trying to do, maybe some of the writers, because I don't think, like, I feel like when you're on a writing staff, you're kind of like at the whims of the people running the show. But, that also can mean that you're churning out something that you don't really care about because you're told to, like, write in the next filler episode where nothing happens. Like, it just feels soulless.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's my summary of the season. What a waste of time.
Yeah.
I don't know if, like, season 3 is going to be any better. If it's got the same team behind it, no, it's going to be more garbage. I think that they're garbage showrunners, and I think they don't know what they're doing, and it just feels boring and mean.
Yeah, you should have some sort of season plan. I mean, you don't need to have every episode laid out, but there should be some direction you want this to go, and clearly the season had no idea where it was going, but neither did the first one.
The first one at least knew what fun was. So if the arcs weren't working because it was just in a million... Yeah, it was just in a million directions all at once, but it didn't feel boring to look at, and it didn't feel like it was mean-spirited most of the time.
Most of the time.
There were some mean-spirited things, but in general...
It was also just like, it felt like we're rebooting constantly in the first season. Like, here's another soft reboot, and we're doing this now.
They kind of did it this season, except in a very, like, slow way, because I think they kept changing directions what they wanted to do, but then in the end, like, nothing was really, like, they were starting something and then they're like, no, let's do this, and they kind of start and then they're, no, let's do this, and I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah,
cool. Delete charmed off computer, delete from the internet. Yeah, I think they'll have a season 3, but I don't know how long they'll last.
Keep saying that, and it keeps coming back.
Sure. I don't know when it'll come back. I think this is the one positive from the coronavirus, and that, like, we have less Charmed and we don't have to watch it for a while. Thank God, because, like, I never look forward to it. I don't. I hope this doesn't turn off listeners to the podcast, but I don't look forward to watching it. Hopefully it's a funny podcast, but the episodes themselves, I just... Needs more ass smoke, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes? She's like, wrap it up!
Yeah. That's her signal.
All right. we're getting the we're getting the commercial signal. We gotta wrap it up. Phelan, do you have anything else about this season or this episode or anything you would like to tell the Charmanders out there?
I've said enough.
All right. If you guys enjoyed this, I'd appreciate it if you liked, subscribed, or reviewed on whatever platform you're listening to this on. You can find us in audio form at anchor.fm under Charmed Hard with a Vengeance or Charmed Rewind. You can find us on YouTube, youtube.com/Movie Nights the series. Phelan's stuff is at youtube.com/Phelis. Or you can support us on Patreon, see stuff ahead of time, participate in polls. We're going to have more Charmed Rewinds coming up after this, so we have polls about episodes of that. You can find my stuff at patreon.com/Movie Nights, or Phelan's at patreon.com/Phelis. Thanks to Peter Hunter, composer and singer of the great CarMan theme, and editor of our podcast. You can find him on Twitter at PretorHunter. What hashtags should we send the season off with?
Hashtag butt smoke.
Hashtag the Carnqueror. Hashtag all caps delete.
Delete.
All right, that's it, Charmanders. We'll be seeing you guys around. Bye.